Okay, welcome back, everybody. I'm going to focus on Taurus fields again in this one, and we're just going to get deeper and deeper into understanding the code that's just everywhere in the language. We're going to focus on the Taurus symbol here for a bit, and this is going to be a lot about Mercury and speech and sound and phonetics. So this is the symbol for Taurus, Taurus, the sign, the second sign of the zodiac. And initially this glyph, the original sort of interpretation of it is, the glyph is in the center. The circle around it isn't part of the Taurus glyph. The Taurus glyph is the circle with what looks like the bull's horns. Taurus is the bull. This looks like the bull's head with the bull's horns. That would be sort of the initial, most obvious interpretation of the glyph. A little bit deeper into looking at it, and you can look at this bottom circle here as an Adam's apple, and this potentially as a chin. And that seems like a little bit of a stretch, and might not make too much sense off the bat, but Taurus rules the throat area in astrology. And so there is that connection to be made. And then one step further, if you put a cross underneath this Taurus symbol, you've exactly got the Mercury symbol. And Mercury is the planet that rules speech, our voice, and as well as our intellect. So that's making connections between Mercury and the throat. Now, Mercury in ancient Egypt is Thoth, Thoth, Thoth. And so that's the beginning of the phonetics that we're going to make connections with. All of our languages are derivative of much more ancient understanding of science and metaphysics. Thoth, Mercury, rules our thoughts. Thoth, thought. Mercury also rules our speech. And when we radiate our thoughts, the letter R in language in decoding represents radiation almost exclusively. We're throating. R is radiation. We're radiating our thoughts, throating them. Throat is a verb. To understand words in this decoding, you really need to look at a word's verb tense first. That's the original understanding, because everything's alive. This is a living world. Everything's vibrating and reverberating. It's a verb. We've sort of been tricked into thinking of everything as like this lifeless dead noun. Like I'm in a house, this dead house that's structured, but it's a living entity that is housing me. It's actively housing me right now. It's not a dead noun, it's a verb. It's housing me. That's really important to start decoding language, is looking at verb tenses. So I'm throating my thoughts. I'm radiating my thoughts out my throat. So there's another connection between, we're getting into this whole area in Taurus and Mercury. Now, in our throat, you will find your thyroid gland, right? Thyroid, throat, thyroid. And the thyroid gland is ruled by, of course, Mercury. Mercury rules the thyroid gland. And now, this phonetics, what happens when your thyroid gland is out of balance? You get tired. Thyroid is out of balance, you get tired. These phonetic connections are real. Like, if I'm going to radiate my thoughts, this is all about speech. If I'm going to radiate my thoughts, there's two polar extremes of potential. There's an extreme positive and an extreme negative that I can accomplish with my throat. I can either, in the negative, I can either make a threat. I don't know if you can think of anything more negative I can do with my voice than to threat. Or I can tell the truth. To me, that's the most positive thing I can do with my voice. But it's the same phonetics. I've not stopped saying the same word. It's toroid, torut, tarot, thyroid, tired, threat, truth. It's the same vibration in the ether. And when you understand that phonetic words that share similar phonetics create similar vibrations in the ether, then you automatically know that there's a connected meaning there. And there's something to understand. If you put your mind into it, you can understand a deeper metaphysical connection between any two words that share phonetics. I've yet to find an example where that isn't the case. But that's, ever present in this whole Taurus, thyroid, toroid, on and on and on and on and on, this whole phonetic game of connections goes. Peace, everybody. Thanks for watching. Talk to you next time.